The Dani, but spelled with N as the first letter, Ndani, are the ethnic group from the central highlands of western New Guinea in Baliem Valley, Highland Papua, Indonesia. They are one of the most populous tribes in the highlands and are found to spread out through the highlands. The Dani are one of the best known ethnic groups in Papua due to the relatively numerous tourists who visit the Baliem Valley area where they predominate. Dani is the name given to the Baliem Valley people by the Mourning people, and while they call themselves Hubula, they have been known as Dani since the 1926 Smithsonian Institution Dutch colonial government expedition to New Guinea under Matthew Sterling, who visited the Mourning. The Dani remain unknown to the outside world until the 1930s. When explorers discovered the Dani tribe in 1938, they had no metal tools. They used wooden spears, bows and arrows, and stone tools. The first permanent contacts were not made until the 1950s. In the past, the Dani people lived in relatively isolation, with their main means of subsistence being agriculture and pig farming. They lived in small isolated communities, and their social and economic life was largely based on traditional customs and beliefs. Today, the Dani people's way of life is still very traditional. Most of them still live in the forfeited settlement called hamlets, enclosed by simple wooden fences that are accessed via ladders. The village is centered around the men's house, with family huts and a shared cookhouse nearby. Traditionally, Dani men wear only hollowed out guard called koteka. Older men still wear only goteka, while younger men opt for western clothes except in special occasions. Women usually wear a skirt made of woven bark, but those who are wealthy may wear a skirt made of orchid fiber. Both men and women wear jewelry made from shells, bones, seeds and colorful bird feathers. Men are also famous for their nose piercing. The tusks of a wild boar are pushed through the septum to give the wearer the strength and dangerous appearance of the animal. The Dani practice a form of agriculture known as slash and burn farming, in which they clear the patches of land and burn the vegetation to create nutrient-rich soil for crops such as sweet potatoes and taro. They are skilled at cultivating even the steepest mountain slopes, growing a variety of crops such as sweet potatoes, tomatoes, cassava, avocado, and cucumbers, among others, in the fertile valley. Pigs are considered the most valuable possession of the Dani tribe, and they play a central role in their social, cultural, and economic life. The Dani word for pig is wam, and that is how the city of Wamena got its name. The Dani believe that pigs are essential for their survival, and they are raised for various purposes. They use them for food, ceremonies, and as a means of exchange in the local economy. Pigs are also used as a symbol of wealth and social status, with the size and number of pigs owned by a family or individual reflecting their prestige in the community. Pigs are treated with great care and affection by the Dani people, who often keep them inside their homes to protect them from predators. They are fed with special foods and are given names that reflect their personalities and characteristics. When a pig is slaughtered, it is done so in a ritualistic manner, with the meat being shared amongst the community, communal feast. The Dani are famous for their elaborate pig festival, which involves slaughtering dozens of pigs and cooking them in an underground pit for hours. These feasts are an important part of Dani culture and are often held to mark special occasions such as weddings and funerals. In addition to this traditional pig festival, many smaller pig festivals are held in modern times. No political or major event is held without a pig feast. and pig feasts are also organized by tourists. For the hosting village, such small pig festival are a welcome distraction, and usually the whole village comes together to enjoy a piece of the cherished pork. Overall, the Ndani people's relationship with their pigs is a complex and multifaceted one. Based on mutual respect and dependency, pigs are not just a source of food and wealth for Ndani people, but are also considered members of their family and community, and are deeply valued and cherished. Ndani men go around naked except for a koteka, a penis god, and occasionally some birds of paradise feathers, cowrie shells, or pig tucks, or a hairnet as an ornament. The penis god are kept erect with the thread that is attached to the top and looped around the waist. Hill men wear long penis sheets and rattan skirts that look like a bunch of skinny hula hoops piled on the top of one another. In the 1970s, the Indonesian government tried to eradicate the penis guards, but the effort was largely a failure. Unmarried women have traditionally worn grass skirts, while married women wore a skirt made of fiber cords or seed strung together and hung below the abdomen to cover the buttocks. Older Ndani women often go topless, while the younger ones began to cover their breasts several decades ago. Women of all ages are often seen carrying backstring backpacks with their heads in which they carry children, piglets, sweet potatoes, or other items. To keep themselves warm on cold nights, Dani has traditionally rubbed pig fat on their body instead of wearing clothes. In an effort to get the Dani to cover their naked bodies, aid workers for the Indonesian government airdrop dresses and trousers. As different cultures have different mourning practices peculiar to them, the Ndani people have theirs, which is known as the finger cutting mourning practice. The finger cutting mourning practice done by the Ndani tribe is one bizarre cultural practice worth noting. When a member of a tribe dies, the deceased relatives experience both physical and emotional pain. The Ndani tribes reside in a remote area of the Papua, New Guinea, and Wamena of the Jayawijaya Regency in Indonesia. To mourn the deceased, fingers of the family members, especially that of the females, are cut off. Even female babies have tips of their fingers bitten off by their mothers. It is speculative why their practice centers on females. However, only a few older men in the tribe are involved in the practice. This mourning ritual is deemed important in the culture. Before amputation, a string is tied tightly around the upper half of the finger for 30 minutes. This allows it to go numb for an almost painless removal. A close family member, sibling or parent usually does this. The primary reason for the amputation is to appease and keep the restless spirits away. If the deceased person is considered powerful, it is believed that their spirit would be equally powerful. Also, the physical pain from the finger amputation is believed to making it easier for the bereaved to forget the pain of relatives' death. Finger cutting has been banned and is no longer practiced in recent years. However, it is not uncommon to still see older women of the tribe with snipped fingers, all 5 of them. Fast forward to modern times, some Ndani people are trying to enter the market economy by growing and selling rice and leading treks into the highland forest. In the Baliem Valley, Indonesian immigrants hold most of the good government position and own most of the private businesses.